I'm not that into you, really. Your maxilla is quite recessed, you know?
What does that mean?
This is so embarrassing.
What?
Your maxilla is quite recessed.
Talk about how some people were spending their Christmas Eve. And by some people, I mean Clavicular, also known as kick streamer who can't stop using the N-word. This is from Jarvis Johnson, friend of the show. Jarvis covered Clavicular. I have talked about him a little bit as well. A guy who came out from the lookism, Looksmaxing community with BP edits and whatnot. I started seeing him on my TikTok For You page, and basically I did not like what I saw. I was just giving ED to young men in general and causing them to have severe body dysmorphia and genuine complications. Black pill edits, BP edits are pretty devastating. But this is a person whose entire content revolves around Looksmaxing. ED is eating disorders, chat. Looksmaxing, changing the way you look in an effort to ascend to being a Chad. What is this? The clip of him and Bradley is so funny. He put his titty on his shoulder.
Boys, we're about to go out. I haven't been to the gym in about 3 weeks, so hence the lack of gains. Ed's gambling in the back. But essentially what you're going to want to do, fellas, is tape this to your delts so that you actually look like you have a little bit of size on you when you're like me and all you're doing is partying all the time and not lifting.
Yeah. I saw a clip of you putting, like, I don't know, on your shoulders.
Shoulder pads?
Bro, that was, I'm not gonna lie, that was the gayest thing I've ever saw, though.
That's gay?
That's so
How
gay.
is that gay?
Because it's like,
But it gets you a result.
I don't think it's gay. And I'm stealing this from a doll I saw on my For You page. But it's objectively, it's trans. There was this, it's drag, but also beyond drag, because they take hormones and stuff too. It's kind of giving trans. And before people get mad at me for saying this, I mean, it is quite literally gender affirming care to a degree that is unsustainable and unhealthy. I would say that gender confirmation for trans people is very healthy. It helps you avoid suicide, things like that. Makes you more comfortable in your own skin. Whereas these guys are basically breaking their brains through gender affirming care. Yeah, he is a male to male trans man, trans mask, and it's beyond reason. It's beyond being healthy in general. It's just like this is the unironic, unhealthy version of what conservatives claim trans people are doing. This kid is 19 years old and he's so obsessed with ascending in this completely made up tier structure. At the age of 19, he looks like he's in his 30s almost. I mean, he looks young and old at the same time. And apparently he's like microdosing methamphetamines, like not even Adderall, straight up crystal meth. How are you going to take your shirt off in front of a girl and have your shoulder titties fall out? Yeah. And of course, as he got more and more popular on TikTok, he got a kick contract. And as soon as he got a kick contract, he got way more racist. There was one big initial racist moment where he had, they asked him about how he feels about Marlon. You guys know Marlon. He's the FaZe adjacent content creator. He's a model. I've played basketball with him before. He's an athlete. He's a decent guy. I like him, right? He's a very handsome fellow. And he was asked about whether or not Marlon was a Chad or something. And his response basically was like, oh, he would be a Chad, but he's black. And that's when everyone was like, what the f do you mean he'd be a Chad but he's black? Like, what? That sounds a little racist. And after that, he started collaborating with Nick Fuentes, doing all this and leaning into it, and then he actually blew up even further from that, and then he got a kick contract, and now he says the N-word all the time. I don't know if Jarvis covers all this stuff, so I just wanted to give you the proper backstory. But it's like this. Look, Clav's goals are inspiring. It's like this. This guy looks like he just did crystal and got into a fight 2 days ago. He looks so unhealthy. I know.
Play video games, blast meth, and just do that. Like I just want to mug 9 to 5s, meth maxing. I want to grind this game so hard that, like, the guy who gets home from work and has, like, maybe a PS4 from back in the day, I just want to destroy him because I'm on meth. I want to play video games.
You know, like
I don't want
that.
anything but a white girl.
Are you serious?
Yeah, bro, what are we talking about? Like, you would get with anything not...
What?
You get with anything not normal?
Not normal?
Not like, not like the normal race? You wouldn't do that?
The normal race. I think he's talking about white
Cardi
people.
show, as you guys might have seen. So hopefully,
There's an entire there is an entire
Before we start.
universe. There is an entire universe around these guys, and these communities like pop off. You might think like, oh, this only has 72 views or 72 likes. Who gives a shit? I'm telling you right now, there is a combined multiple billions in the audience, in the fandom, like millions of eyeballs, billions of impressions. It's so insane. This was when he was like fully pivoting into the right wing a while back. There is the gym cell. I forget his name. The one who always says you got Gyno. I think he's very funny though.
All of you? Yeah, but he's black.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not?
Have you seen his parents? They're white.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's just really sad. Well, he does mock.
He mocks us to oblivion.
Oh shit! I'm like shaking my fucking neck.
Yeah, and after this, like people were like, "What the f do you mean? No, he can't mog. He's black." And then he literally leaned into it, and like did a collab stream with Nick Fuentes. My nephew's elementary school age in Iraq follow these people is so depressing. Yeah, I don't think you guys understand. This kind of preys on young boys' insecurities, so it is universal. No, it's not surprising to me at all. I think a lot of you are so outside of this age range that you forgot how malleable you were when you were younger, and you genuinely cannot comprehend how this kind of stuff could be so enticing to a person that's like 12, 13, 14 years old and has a girl that they really like. Like, I can think of myself at that age. That's why I'm very open about this. Like, if I was 13 years old, 14 years old right now, I'd be all over this because this is basically creating this binary guideline for you. It's giving you clear-cut, achievable goals step by step. The problem is it's also anchored around like very negative and very unhealthy views of oneself. And the people, you know, the insane people are leading the asylum pretty much. Because like a 14-year-old should not be learning about life from a 19-year-old. That's the problem. And it's presented as like cheat codes. All these other adults around these people also don't give a because they're all grifter content creators themselves. So none of them actually turn around and go, hey man, I think you should probably not do you shouldn't do this stuff. I don't think this is healthy for you. And I don't think it's healthy for your audience. So no one actually turns around and like checks them or tries to guide them in a healthier way. But the reason why this is so universal, the reason why people are so invested in this stuff all around the world is because the experiences that people have, they're fairly universal too. I was 13 years old in Turkey, right? I was 14 years old in Turkey growing up. I had the same problems that other 13 to 14-year-olds have, and those problems don't change. Like, you like a girl, you're too shy, you're unsure about yourself, you're unsure about who you want to be, you're unsure about, you have a lot of anxieties, you have hormones that are coursing through your veins. It's crazy. And especially nowadays, you have unlimited, unrestricted access to the internet, and you start developing these very, very unhealthy attitudes about who you are supposed to be or how you are supposed to achieve certain goals that you set for yourself. And if your goals are, how do I talk to women? How do I make women like me? These guys give you basically a cheat sheet. But in the process, my biggest goal always is to defeat insecurity, defeat that crippling anxiety. And that comes from within. That comes from repetition. That comes from working. That comes from achieving goals that you set for yourself. What these guys are doing, however, is unironically making you more insecure as you accomplish some of these goals because the starting point is unhealthy. The outlook is unhealthy. That's the reality. This is the dark side of self-improvement. Self-improvement is a great concept. Fantastic concept. It's very important for me. And I try to explain that to others as well. I tell people all the time, you always should be on a journey of self-improvement. It's a good thing. But these guys are actually not improving the one aspect that they have to improve, which is self-reliance and confidence. But because it's anchored around this like unimaginably insecure fake hierarchy that they've cultivated for themselves, They will never achieve confidence. And without confidence, gym maxing means nothing. You're still an insecure, whiny loser, even if you're jacked. And the older you get without achieving this confidence, the older you get without achieving self-reliance and confidence and security in your own skin, the worse the world looks for you, because you keep carrying those insecurities into every conversation that you have, every social interaction that you have. And then you keep going, I'm trying so hard, but I'm not achieving the results I want to achieve. Why the is that happening? And then people fall into even a darker pit of despair, right? And that's when they get fully black pilled. They go, oh, I'm just not good enough. My facial structure is not good enough. I'm just too short. Women ain't shit. They should want me. I'm so alpha. I'm so good. I've done so much and they still don't want me. They still reject me. Yeah, they're rejecting you because you're insecure, but you can't recognize that because you think security comes from how you present yourself to others, whereas security actually comes from within. The Looksmaxing community initially came from like bodybuilding forums, but it took a life of its own in the right wing incel sphere, and it's very, very racist. This is the reason why there's like also a mass adoption of the term physiognomy, like the that you see all over the internet now. TikTok basically normalized and mainstreamed a lot of these different cultural variants that were relegated to the dark rooms of the internet, you know, forums and things like that. Now it's all over. If I could give you a day off of the mere knowledge of this shit, I would. No, I mean, I know all about this stuff. There are older videos of me checking the lookism website for like all the way back in like 2018, 2019, because they would talk about me all the time on there to be like, oh, this guy he's like a natural Chad or something. I don't fucking know.
Oh my God. Oh, I found it. Rate Hassan Piker's top 0.01% frame. JFL unmoggable. Okay. Hold on. I got to pee first, but I'll be back in 1 second. Coping this threat saying his ugly face. He's a 7.5 out of 10 PSL facially, 9 out of 10 PSL body overall, 8 out of 10 PSL God tier jaw. He's unmoggable until he opens his mouth. That voice sounds like it's coming from an 8-year-old girl. Imagine how low cortisol his life must be. Beta face on an alpha body. Legit. Skull of a 9-year-old girl. Insane body, though. What is up with this skull fascination with these people, man? His skull looks small in comparison to his body because of how huge he is. In general, his skull size is average, if not slightly above. Look at pics next to him. Anyone, his skull is usually larger. Appears to have a small head and a big frame, which is a typical Chad combo.
But they were very mad about my politics even back then, and they still are. In any case, yeah, they called you a Chad, but also an F slur, yeah. And there are different variants of Chad. There's Chad Light, there's Chad, but yeah, they do like buccal fat removal. They do numerous things, mewing, jaw smashing. There are so many different ways of trying to change the way that your face looks, basically, and the way that your body looks as well. There's got to be an incel wiki, right? Incels.wiki, is that what it is? Yeah. Inceldom pride flag. This movement, this community basically both takes itself very seriously, but also not serious at all. Its entry point is all jokes, right? Is all jokes, is all memes. But then the more you go along, the more you fall into this pipeline, the more seriously you take it. And Clavicular is basically a creature of this movement, right? Suffix denoting involuntary celibate, used in the formation of the words gym cell, height cell, bald cell, work cell, wrist cell, etc. Maxing is an effort to improve aspects of one's life, to secure sexual and or romantic intimacy, maximize it, used to denote self-improvement in general. A lot of these guys are very autistic, if you couldn't tell from this like decently put together Wikipedia for incels. Mogged, suffix indicating being dominated by another person. The stem word denotes the feature that one is being dominated by, derives from the PUA term AMOG, alpha male of the group. Deliberately trying to humiliate, otherwise dominate others was advocated as a form of increasing your perceived social value of women by pickup artists. This usage later morphed to refer to any feature that supposedly contributes to the perceptions of social dominance in general. Now, a lot of this stuff I also insincerely and as a joke utilize as well. Some of this stuff is very funny. The difference is I don't take this stuff seriously. I don't think that this stuff is good. I think it's actually poisonous, especially for a lot of young men. Pill refers to embracing a type of philosophy or world view coined by the movie The Matrix, where the character Morpheus gives the protagonist Neo the option to either accept his harsh reality by swallowing a red pill or to go back to being connected to the Matrix, a comforting illusion, by swallowing the blue pill. This analogy spawns several terms that use the word pill as a suffix to denote different realizations or worldviews. Obviously, you know what red pill is. Blue pill, the preference of believing in a comforting or convenient lie, especially when it concerns a person's worldview. In regards to involuntary celibacy, this essentially refers to attitudes that minimize the role of individual differences such as physical attractiveness or social constraints in driving human mating successes in favor of platitudes such as "you'll find someone one day" and the like. This is why a lot of people in the incel orbit despise the kinds of commentary that I engage in whenever I talk about this kind of stuff.
Because the reason why I speak so confidently about this is because, Hasan, you cannot stand in the realm of debating dating and modern day relationships between men and women with me, bro. You cannot. This is not your arena, okay? Stick to the politics, my friend.
Because they consider that to be bullshit. Oh, you're just like trying to blue pill your audience. You're trying to make them into normies or whatever the right? And the reality of the matter is a lot of these concepts are unimaginably reductive and put you on this journey of unnuanced thinking. It's for dumb people. It's for dumb people to LARP as though they've arrived at a hidden truth. My main plank in my ideology, my worldview is that everyone can be a 7, which is the polar opposite of their main ideological idea, that you have genetic predetermination. You are slotted into a specific place in society through your genes. This is also another thing that really pisses off a lot of people. And for the record, the reason why I say this is unnuanced thinking is because there is some truth to the obvious preferences that dating partners have in terms of, you know, your material possessions or your physical attributes. Of course, that's normal. Everyone does that. The difference is these guys treat it as a zero-sum game. It's either one or it's either or. They look at it as a binary, which is stupid. It's unnuanced. That's not how human beings operate. It's very black and white thinking. And unfortunately, as many autistic chatters know in this community as well, unnuanced or black and white thinking is a primary function. Unfortunately for all of us, we do love engaging in this binary mode of thinking and get very heavily invested in one side of an argument over the other. Whereas the truth in this circumstance especially is somewhere in the middle. Of course, if you are 5'4" as a male, you are going to have a harder time than someone who is 6'4" as a male in terms of dating preferences. That doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to find anyone. And as a matter of fact, if you consistently lean into how much of a genetic setback this is and allow this to dominate your existence, you're going to be less likable. But a hurdle does not mean it's impossible to climb. But that is part of the reason why I despise this kind of fatalistic, depressed way of thinking, because black pill, which is the maximum version of this, or Sui pill basically is the last part of this, but black pill is a fatalistic, depressed version of the red pill, particularly one focused on external solutions as opposed to individual ones, or on the importance of physical attractiveness in driving men's dating success. Yeah. Motivation. Fuel is also motivation for something. Life fuel, inspirational, motivating, induces warm emotions. Sui fuel or suicide fuel, depressing, demotivational. Many of this also goes into like way deeper and insane territory, some of which you already know, like beta males. Becky is a moderately attractive female, not as attractive as Stacy. There is this like, there's this hierarchy in everything. For a lot of people who are struggling in the dating marketplace, you know, especially when they're young, they think this is like world secrets that they're arriving at, like deep hidden truths that they are figuring out. And it's very exciting for them. It also takes the stress away from the individual, right? It takes the stress away from the individual. It makes them feel like there is a systematic disenfranchisement that's taking place. but the systematic disenfranchisement is genetically predetermined. It's a way to cope. It's somewhat comforting. And instead of looking at this from a materialist worldview and having that be your starting position, it's a very comforting worldview that turns into, this is so LA, brother. I'm gonna let you know, if you have any younger siblings or relatives or whatever living in Ohio, they have broached this subject matter. I would say that at this point, this is not very LA at all. This is everywhere. Every young boy under a certain age has encountered this kind of thing. I just told you that TikTok basically normalized this kind of attitude pretty aggressively. So yeah, you're wrong. This is absolutely all over high schools, maybe even all the way down to like kindergartens, and it's global. It's not just in America either, straight up. And there are different variants that are culturally different because every culture has like different, every culture has different cultural expectations, societal expectations that divide along gender lines. And so, there are more aggressive versions of this in other countries, but there are absolutely people doing a similar thing in other places like South Korea, Japan, even China, I suspect, to a certain degree, despite the firewall. Yeah, Looksmaxing. Softmaxing is a subset of Looksmaxing that concerns non-invasive and cheap methods to improve one's looks. Examples of softmaxing are dietary changes, getting lean after adopting a healthy lifestyle. The use of certain over-the-counter supplements that are purported to or have been proven to improve certain aspects of aesthetics, such as supplements that can improve the color and tone of one's skin, such as carotenoids like beta-carotene and astaxanthin, supplements that can improve overall skin quality or improve wrinkles, such as collagen and peptides, the supplements that are claimed to improve hair and nail quality, such as biotin, with there only being evidence of biotin serving to alleviate the hair loss caused by a serious deficiency of this mineral, working out in the gym to get muscular, running, cycling. So notice that like there is actually this unhealthy obsession. They've turned something that is objectively healthy, something that I talk about all the time, self-improvement, into an objectively unhealthy endeavor. This is basically the opposite of people who get mad at me every time I talk about my own personal fitness journey or my own personal dietary habits and say, you're fat shaming. You're actually being a fat shamer and you're not being woke, and you're going to give everybody a eating disorder if you talk about like self-improvement in any vein, in any capacity. This is the maximized version of that in a much less healthy attitude around that on the self-improvement side. This is why I said it's very, you're fat phobic, that kind of thing. This is quite literally the other side of that same coin of just like looking at this with black and white thinking. In any case, hard Looksmaxing involves more invasive or hazardous methods of enhancing one's physical appearance. Injecting or taking orally anabolic steroids to improve one's muscle building capabilities far beyond what would be possible naturally. Other substances like anabolic effects or weight loss drugs, such as the use of bronchodilator clenbuterol, which is for horses, like horse asthma medicine, but it's a steroid, to improve body composition, to lose body fat and lose weight, or the use of potentially dangerous stimulants like ephedrine for weight loss. SARMs would also fall in this category. Bleaching one's skin or using other chemicals to whiten one's skin, various forms of plastic surgery, fillers, laser scar removal, Botox, etc. Preventing male pattern hair loss with the anti-androgenic 5-alpha reductase enzyme inhibitor drugs such as finasteride or dutasteride. Hair regrow agents like minoxidil could also be included in this category. I like that I'm a hard Looksmaxer because I take finasteride and minoxidil. There is a wide range here, don't you think, between taking a prescribed medicine that is FDA approved versus literally taking anabolic steroids. But anyway, yes. Do you understand why? The irony is a lot of these guys are right-wing, okay? And they find themselves to be very right-wing and have these like hardline approaches. They feel like aesthetics determine everything, and your aesthetics are determined by your genetics. And there's no other way around that, right? But it's also literally the most trans website of all time. These are the same people who would tell trans people to kill themselves, but this is literally DIY. This is unironically DIY gender affirming care that is, going above and beyond in a very unhealthy fashion, which is ironic because gender affirming care or gender confirmation is unironically good and healthy for trans people. In any case, controversial Looksmaxing methods. Mewing, a practice that supposedly improves facial bones, such as the position of the maxilla through adopting the correct tongue posture. Bone smashing, a practice that supposedly relies on Wolff's Law that states that bones adapt to stress by becoming stronger to improve bone structure, basically striking yourself in the face in the belief that this will remold your facial bones. This is a real thing, for the record. They literally do this. Clavicular used to do this with like a little hammer. It's not even a joke. Surgery maxing in the Looksmaxing communities is commonly argued that much of the time in order to ascend, ugly men need to undergo plastic surgeries. The least invasive surgeries are autoplasty, rhinoplasty, and facial implants, often jaw and chin implants. That is, I can't believe they say this is the least invasive, by the way. You know what a jaw implant looks like? I saw someone on my For You page. They literally break your jaw and they add these like additional implants. And then your teeth for like 6 months is so wide. You have a massive teeth gap. And then you have to literally wear, what's it called again? I'm forgetting the name now. They're like more aggressive than regular braces, but I don't know. It's not even like a retainer, but you have to wear like crazy corrective braces on your teeth. However, this might not be enough for men who have recessed facial bones. In these cases, maxillofacial surgery is often argued the only way to substantially improve their appearances. So yeah, more uncommonly, some advocate for radical practices like transphobia, i.e. becoming male to female transgender. That is insane. You're either trans or you're not. This is the unhealthy thing that I was talking about. But once again, the very fact that it is it's incredibly and deeply transphobic as well, because very right wing. My goal always in this space, whenever I talk about this kind of stuff, is to try to get people to have healthier attitudes around self-improvement, something that I was able to achieve for myself that others can as well, whether it be improving the way you see the world, changing the way you see the world, developing more empathy for others, or whether it be even self-improvement in the physical realm as well, in the physical space as well, knowledge maxing, gym maxing, whatever the you want to call it. So why did I bring up all this? Because like I said, clavicular is probably one of the most popular and least healthy examples of this. No, Kaya. No. Clavicular is one of the least healthy examples of this, and now very popular. Initially, like I said, he was just like doing jaw maxing or jaw breaking, all this stuff like bone breaking, bone smashing. The irony here is that Clavicular was like a perfectly normal looking guy. He was a perfectly attractive dude when he was, in his late teen years, I guess. And what he did to himself actually made him look older and made his skin look worse, made him look worse in general. And I don't know if there is like a transformation video or something that I can show you so you understand like what he considers to be like ascension is. Look, Clav's 6-month transformation is insane. Like, that's crazy. Like, he just looks perfectly fine. He's a handsome guy. And now he looks like he's zombified. And a lot of these people, unironically, like at first when I saw all of this stuff on my timeline, I thought they were like memeing on him. I thought they were just like, as a lol cow, I thought they were telling him, they were egging him on to keep going further and further, keep going harder and harder on this Looksmaxing to like see how far they can make him, like to see how ugly they can make him, like a internet Frankenstein's monster. They're talking about you in maxing TikTok. Good one, chatter. Thank you. Take a week off. Naughty list for you. But this is like at first, like I said, I thought his fans were just like egging him on, like the World of T-Shirts guy, to like do increasingly crazier shit. But I realized they unironically think this is an ascension. Like, they think he looks better now, and it's a very strange phenomena. Very, very strange phenomena. But there's a lot of like racialized undertones here as well. A lot of racism as well, which is expected. I don't know why Kaya is bone smashing maxing herself, by firmly standing right behind my chair. She is also, that's what she's doing. She's tail smash maxing. He has a Turkish friend who became a lolcow cookie king. Yeah, that's the other, there was the cookie verse or something.
I'm someone that uses exogenous hormones, and I want to know your take on this, because my whole thought process with exogenous hormones is, sure, you know, the aesthetic benefit of being bigger. It's nice. You know, having a more dominant frame is going to help you in business negotiations, politics, whatever. So I'm doing that more so for the reason that if you're trying to be natural and listen to these wellness guys, the shit that they're saying is so fucking absurd. They're wanting people to spend hundreds of dollars a week on supplements, ashwagandha, certain types of underwear, EMF shirts. And I'm like, fellas, can we just acknowledge for 1 second that maybe it would be a little cheaper in this economy just to use synthetic testosterone? And that way you could eat Popeyes and not have to deal with all this bullshit. And this really doesn't get through to all these influencers' heads, because they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on the supplements that they're selling to people. So they're like, what do you mean? You know, eating a grass-fed ribeye every day is not, you know, it's not unrealistic. It's like, yeah, but, you know, when most people are on welfare, it starts to get into crazy territory. So what do you think about that, about, you know, exogenous hormones?
I don't know. They kind of scare me. I mean, doesn't it make it...
Yeah, Nick's looking at him like he wants a slice of that, for the record.
You can't make...
Because he has, as someone in the chat called, boy toy maxed.
Testosterone naturally? Or
no, he's not miring. That's different. Miring is also a somewhat homoerotic concept. That's why I jokingly refer to like going to the gym as the gayest thing that you can do. And the more you lift, the gayer you become, because there is a level that you achieve with your physique that if you go past it, you're actually not doing it to look sexy for women. You're doing it to look sexy for other men.
Are you fucking miring, bro? We're only fucking miring.
That's where miring comes into play. Admiration, admiring another man's body. I don't even want to say Cristiano Ronaldo, even though they use that as an example all the time. Like Cristiano Ronaldo's physique is seen as like much more attractive and aesthetic for women, whereas someone like Canute, for example, does not have a physique that is attractive to women at all, or only attractive to specific types of women that simply want someone that is a bodybuilder. But Canute's body type is very attractive to people who have already reached a level or have certain goals in the gym, but it's mostly men.
Apparently, like, his friend walked up to these girls and may have like touched one of them inappropriately. I truly cannot tell what's happening from the camera, but that's what it's been reported as.
Check this out. All right, bet. Wait, go wait, Wando, this is movie quality. Oh my god.
Oh, let's go, bro. We're viral as f. Oh my god.
I couldn't even tell what happened in this clip, but he's like harasses these women. And
is that dude like memeing, or is that how he is? Because I only know about Clavicular, right? I didn't know that there was also people in his crew that are somehow even bigger goobers than he is. But I guess that's how these guys move usually, so it shouldn't have been that shocking. But he has like goons, and I guess it makes sense, because if you know how big of a goober he is, like obviously his goons are going to be even lower ranking. That's testicular. Okay, I can't tell if you're joking or if you're being serious. I'm 34 years old. I know a lot about the background of this one guy, but I clearly didn't know enough. Like, actually, the dude, his name is Testicular? No, you're fucking joking. Testy for short? Okay, stop. Okay, that's a joke. No, he's not.
The chat is like saying racist stuff. Big surprise. I'm not making this video about this random guy, but this is like the company he keeps, I guess.
I'm not that into you, really. Your maxilla is quite recessed, you know?
This is so embarrassing. What? Your maxilla is quite recessed. No one cares. Holy shit.
This is not my first language.
Oh, yeah, so you have like a recessed maxilla, so I can't.
Her response is, English is not my first language, and then he continues going in about recessed maxilla. You're not ugly. Your maxilla is just recessed. We are beyond cooked.
You know, like your upper jaw, it's just a little recessed, so I can't. I mean, you know what I mean?
Why are you looking at me? I don't know what that means.
Oh, this guy. Dude, it's all the best people. They're all together. It's like the Avengers.
Yeah, it's just like a developmental flaw. It's no worries.
But it's just like a developmental flaw. It's no worries. Does this guy emote ever? It's interesting. Like, it feels like he's trying to be nonchalant, like to seem cool. Everything he does is, no, yeah. No,
is he
bro.
on beta blockers? Like, what the why is there this like sheepish, nervous energy all over him? But he's also one note. Yeah, I don't even care about that, actually.
That's crazy, bro. Chat, what club should we go to, chat?
Oh, she's hot over there. Alright, can we call her?
Oh, she's hot over there. I'm nonchalant, so that's cool. Fellas, this is how you should always be. Hello, you have a recessed maxilla, and your Norwood line implies that you are not of maximal beauty efficiency. Dude, this is so ridiculous.
Not into you. It's all good. You can go away.
Yeah, I'm not attracted to you, so you can go away now. I really only want women near me who I'm attracted to. Processed maxilla, maybe. Recessed, no chance.
I would say I mog you by at least like 2 PSL. Easily.
Bro, I need you to understand something. They literally have their own unique measurement system, the PSL thing. I forgot to mention this. That girl was way hotter than he is. But it's pretty funny that he also literally thought he was more attractive than her, when objectively that's not the case. No, they both chopped. No, that was a very attractive girl. What the f? And was much nicer.
And you still can't pull it off?
I obviously had to say the N-word because of how ridiculous that was. And also, guys, just lol at the N-word, okay?
Honestly, guys, just lol at the N-word. Can I get some dubs in the chat for the lolling at the N-word? Can I get some LPSL dub 6-7 N-words in the chat? My clavies, that's what I call you guys. I'm not allowed to smile or laugh or experience emotions, but I do love saying the N-word because that's like cool.
A dude called me out. He's like, oh, Clav, why do you gotta say the N-word? It's like, because it gets me views. Why would I not? Why would I not say it? Okay.
Right. And that's why I don't respect you. Right. That's why, because you have like no sort of, you follow the winds of clout and you have no like morals or scruples about you. It's like, notice he's saying it like in front of white people. Like even when he was pressed by the black guy, he didn't say it. I don't think he even said it in that moment, but when he's like shouting it out, he's like doing so at a restaurant. He's like, get a shot of all the white people here at this restaurant. Yeah, they're not going to stop me from dropping a nick bomb or whatever the hell he called it.
So, you know, the barrier to entry is up here. That's why the views are so good if you say the N-word on the internet.
It's crazy to describe this as you think you've cracked.
I can't believe he's educating children. Like he's literally telling kids, you should go out and say the N-word and you'll get clout. He's also 19. Like, I feel like he's mentally stunted. It feels like he is, he's 19 years old, but the attitude he's demonstrating, it kind of comes across like he's 12.
Some sort of code, an unpatched method, a new exploit.
Come here. Come here.
Okay, this is cringe. The N-word's ruined forever.
Come here.
Another 19-year-old saying the N-word is what ruined you. I just had to look up who this person was, because they used their whole government here. So I just Googled it. I guess this is how it works, right? You need the most cringe people alive to use the word, and then they'll realize that only losers do it. And,
I mean,
it's
that's kind of how it worked. And when he was saying it too, let's be real.
Actually, it's a giveaway for like having no aura, you know?
The way you talk, they don't fit it at all. They really don't.
But that doesn't mean it's not part of my vocabulary. It's just like a free-spirited, just like fun word.
Bro, he got the Miami Latinos telling him to stop saying it. Brother, at that point, you have to quit it. That's crazy. Like, no disrespect, but those dudes are probably saying it more than black dudes are. And they're the ones telling you stop saying it. You gotta stop saying it. It's done. Yeah, Latinos say it the most. It's over. It's over. It's funny that I wasn't the only one who noticed this, though, that he just comes across as very insecure when he's slinging it, so it looks really unnatural, that other people have approached him in public to be like, hey, man, I love saying the N-word. And I actually am an enjoyer when white people say the N-word. But honestly, like the form of it is really bad. Like the way you're doing it is kind of, you know, it just seems so nervous. There's this like nervous energy surrounding it. Maybe you should like try to fling it when you're, you know, sitting at home by yourself so you can get better at it.
Okay, this is the second time he's used free-spirited to describe the way he uses the N-word. They gotta take away the internet for some of these people, man.
I just broke up with my girlfriend, L-girlfriend, W community.
I just broke up with my girlfriend, L-girlfriend, W chat, actually. 6-7.
Me and Wanda are gonna cold approach W.
Rowdy kid.
Everyone spam L-girlfriend in the chat.
Wait, this is the guy who just like harassed women in the previous chat and was a little bit cringe, actually. I'll say it. W cold approach, L girlfriend. I don't know why I keep doing it. They're saying L girlfriend. I'm getting calls. 2 PSLs. 2 pumpkin spice lattes, please. This is the type of thing that it's like, you know, based on the communication style,
Honestly,
that only young
girlfriend
people are
or
enjoying
ex-girlfriend
this. There's
now.
no like adult man with a 401k spamming L girlfriend in the chat, you know?
When you're done smoking the cigarette, do you try to eat it after? What got you into the weed?
Stress.
What are you stressed about? The next meal?
I'm the breadwinner.
You're the breadwinner? What do you do to make your money? Suck guys off for McChickens?
This type of thing, like this guy judging someone.
Like, he's not even attempting. He's just not even attempting to be funny. What do? Suck guys off or make chickens? You're a whore. You're fat. You're fat and also slutty. Like, you gotta be actually less than 10. This ain't even funny for 10-year-olds. I feel like you gotta be 9 to look at that and be like, ha, this is so funny. He's so ruthless.